Yo, what up? Big C, 100 Nails Brewing. This video right here is because I got called out on a frequently asked beer questions that Tasting Nitch kind of put out there for people to answer at their leisure, and everybody's been doing it. So I got called out, now I gotta do it. Who called me out? Haha, Carlisle, aka Drop Time Brewing, aka Mormon State Booze Hound. Dude's a beast. It's just what it is. Question number 1: how did you get into beer? It's odd. Been drinking beer a long time, real long time. I didn't really get into beer until my dad married Claire, this English lady. Her mom's from England. Actually, she was too, but they moved here when she was young. We would go to their house, and she'd always have odd stuff. I remember drinking a Oberon from Bell's one summer, and drink 4 or 5 of them. Kind of evolved a little bit more into other beers like Dragon's Milk. Always been a fan of Guinness. Kind of really started then, although when I was 21, I started drinking a Guinness at a train stop on the way to a friend's birthday party. And when I didn't have my ID on me, and I was like, damn, which beer can I get where they're not going to card me? So I was like, I'll take a Guinness. And best decision I've ever made in my life. The beer was amazing, and it kind of turned into other styles of Guinness like Murphy's or whatnot. And then got into Belhaven, which is an awesome Scottish ale. And then my dad met this lady, and it all kind of got crazy from there, and it's just evolved into this crazy beer world that I live in now. So that's how I got into beer. Number 2, what is your favorite beer? What is your favorite beer? My favorite beer, and I have thought about this for a week. It's hard to say what my favorite beer is. Favorite beer, if you were to put me on an island and I could only have one beer, which I think that might actually be a question. I'll save that. Favorite beer, I'd say Guinness. Guinness is probably my favorite. I can drink that stuff all day, every day. Damn, I'll even beer bong Guinness. I don't really care. I haven't done it in a while, but I do it. There's something about that beer that just always has stayed with me. It's just great. It's a good, common beer, easy to get. You don't have to go searching for it. It's there. You know it's there. And that nitro is so yummy. But yeah, I'd say Guinness is my favorite beer. Which rolls right into number 3, which is, if you could have one beer forever, what would it be? So if you were to put me on an island and I was stuck with a shipment and pallets of beer, this is the one I thought, this is where I was really starting to think, because I've heard some guys say Moon Man and PBR and whatever, various things. 2 brothers came out with a beer called Pinball, and I would have said Moon Man until I had that beer. That beer's really good. It's got all the qualities of an IPA, but it's not an IPA. It's a pale ale. Super juicy hot beer. I would have to say that's probably the beer that I would like to be stuck with. I can grab a 6er and just crush them. It quenches the thirst. It's yummy stuff. And it's sort of new. So, although, now that I think about it, stuck on an island, which isn't really the question, but I mean, the hops would probably go bad. So you'd kind of be stuck with. But anyway, tangent side note. My bad. We'll go with pinball because this is just good stuff. Number 4, how do you drink so much and stay so fit? Well, I mean, you don't get muscles like these by not drinking beer. Really not fit. Be 35 here in July, and I'd say about 2 years ago I was pretty fit and healthy, and started brewing. Thanks, Nate Pico, under the table brewing, and I've slowly creeped back up 60 pounds in that time limit. But I don't know. I'm not healthy, but I'm not where I'd like to be. So when I drink beer, I just don't drink a ton. Quality over quantity. I eat healthy 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, it seems like it's grab something and go because life is crazy with kids and stuff. But so I don't necessarily drink beer and stay fit. But I try to just kind of teeter-totter right on that line of trying or wanting to get fit maybe, and drinking beer. Yeah, something like that. It's an interesting question, actually, because it's like, yeah, I drink beer and I try to stay fit, but kind of doesn't let me stay fit. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of healthy qualities in homebrew, which is mostly what I try to drink. Digestively, it's amazing. Vitamin-wise, there's a lot of good vitamins in there. So it almost is the hand that feeds itself in a sort of way. Maybe? Nah. Yeah, kind of. Nah. Question 5. Are you an alcoholic? No, I'm not. I know I'm not. I'm not. I've dealt with alcoholism in my life, and I know I'm extremely far from that point. Could I slip into it maybe at some point in life? No, I don't think so. I don't depend on beer. Like, beer isn't my drink of choice from morning to night. I mean, I like to sit back and relax and have some beers, or go to a buddy's house and have some beers, which lately is Elder Pete. We usually drink a few, but I don't need it. I don't have to have it. You can take it away and I'm fine without it. I'd be mad. I'd be pissed off, but it's not bad. So I'm not an alcoholic. 6 is favorite beer ingredients. Put a little thought into this too, and my initial thought right away was yeast, and then I was like, well, hops and malt, and you have to have all this stuff, but I just come right back to yeast. I love hops. Hops are awesome. Malts, love malts. You have to have them to make beer, but I think yeast is the most fun ingredient because you can manipulate it how you want to present it in your beer. It doesn't always cooperate with you, but you put it in there and you put it at a certain temperature, or you step it up, or you put it in your garage instead of in the basement, or depending on what you do and how you treat the yeast, kind of depends on the beer that you're going to get. I mean, making a starter, pitching right out of the package. Yeast is like that one ingredient that it really, I think, ties the beer together and makes it what it is. It creates that lasting beer styles that I've been liking a lot lately. It leaves that lasting impression. And you got clean yeast and stuff, so not necessarily always, but I don't know. Yeast to me is kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of into microbiology, so yeast is cool. I don't know. I'd take yeast out on a date, maybe. No, probably not. It'd be kind of weird, but I don't know. I like yeast. I love yeast. It's great stuff, and I would say that that's my favorite ingredient. Number 7, do you brew? Yes, I brew. I'm in my brewery right now. I got beer. Chugging away. Drinking a beer, homebrew beer that I made a year ago. I got more beer over here. In a vessel fermenting, and a beer in that white cooler down there fermenting. So yes, I brew. I love brewing. I would have never brewed without Nate Pico, Under the Table Brewing, Elder P. Those dudes. I got a crash course in home brewing from those dudes and learned a ton. And I've been using it to my advantage. And I mean, obviously, there's still learning curve in things, but I don't think I brew the best beer or anything, but I brew a decent beer that you can drink, and it's not like, oh, I got to pour this down the drain or anything. I haven't had one of those yet. It'll come. I know I'll get one, but those guys have taught me so much, and I continue to learn from them. And obviously, there's a lot of other people that I've been learning from too, but I brew, and I love brewing. It's great. It's fun. It's a nice hobby. It's my name, Hunter Nails Brewing. I love hunting and I love brewing. So, yeah, it's fun stuff. Number 8. What was your first beer? I could get in trouble for this. I don't know if I want to tell you what my first beer was. I know exactly what my first beer was. Maybe it wasn't my exact first, but I have a vivid memory of my dad coming home. He was a construction worker, blue-collar union guy, and that's what they did in the late 80s and 90s. My whole family, grandpa, uncles, they all worked together. My great uncle owned a construction company, and so they would come home with beer. And my dad always had tall boys of Old Style or Budweiser, sometimes High Life, and he would crack them. And we had 2 recliners next to each other with a table in the middle, and I was probably 5 or 6, and I would weave my way under this table, and I'd hide, and I'd reach up and I'd grab the can, and I'd pull it down, and I would sip it, drink it, and I'd set it back up there, and then I'd wait for him to go get another one, pop it open, set it down. I'd do the same thing. Never liked them warm, always liked them ice cold. This beer been around me for a long time, but I know for a fact that one was Old Style. But the various others, and I would do it all the time. And then my grandma's house, they just have cases lined up on the front porch, because it was a 2-story, and my uncle lived upstairs, and so we'd always be at my grandma's hanging out, and we would steal the beers and go in the basement and drink them. I was probably like 8 or 9, maybe, somewhere in there, 10, and MGD. Old Style, High Life, Old Milwaukee's Best, which is horrible. But when you're a kid, drank all sorts of them. It was a lot of fun. My very first one was Old Style, and I loved it. And I think it was so memorable because, you're 5 and you're a boy and you're playing Army and you're crawling under all this stuff, and I don't know, it was just super fun, awesome time. And never got in trouble, so I don't know if he knows that. But now he might if he watches this video. Number 9, who in the beer world do you look up to? All right, so for me, this is a little odd. Kind of done things a little backwards. But number 1, right off the bat, Nate Pico, Elder P. They, like I said a few minutes ago, taught me everything. I was a sponge every time I was around them and learned as much as I could. That would be more of a direct sort of look up to influence. More of an indirect would be your obvious Lagunitas type brewery, Sam from Dogfish Head. Just about darn near anybody that I can get an article and read on. Vinny out at Russian River. You just start reading or even listening to podcasts on these guys, and you just kind of almost fall in love right away. And you hear some of their failures and their successes and whatnot. And so in an indirect way, I kind of look up to all those guys. Nobody really in particular that is my favorite or they stand out. But I will say Pazian, the dude's got some good books, man. A lot of great knowledge in those books. And I love his approach to just relax, have a home brew. It's just very chill and awesome information. So, and then obviously there's all my homies, all of them in the chat group that we all kind of talk about beer and life, and it's everybody on there. We all talk, and it's great stuff. That would be more of a direct peer sort of influence or guys I look up to. So absolutely love all those dudes, and hopefully we'll all be meeting each other face to face, 100% for sure. Not everybody, but a good majority of us at National Homebrew Conference, so which is in Minneapolis, coming up, not very far away. So yeah, that's about all I got. I'm right at 16 minutes, so I tried to keep it sweet. I'm getting into this video really late, and I know a lot of people have already been called out. But there's one dude that I don't think has done a video. Maybe he was trying to. We hooked up through a Facebook page that has to do with beer, and he lives a couple towns north of me. We still haven't hooked up yet, but that's Josh Grayson. I think he lives in Maple Park. He lives in DeKalb County somewhere. Cool dude, been homebrewing for a little while now. I just don't know about his video status or whatnot yet, but I want to call him out. Maybe it'd be a good way for him to start if he hasn't been. But yeah, I'm going to call out that dude, and that's about all I got for Yinzal. Cheers to Nitch for coming up with this vlog idea. I love it. I've been watching a lot of videos of everybody else. And then like time has just gotten away from me, so that's why I'm doing it tonight. But I said I'd do it. I'm doing it. I'm here. Big C, Hunter and Nails Brewing, and we will check y'all on the next video. Peace.